Hello everyone, this is Seraphon playing Lady Night Saga, and apparently I just never tried approaching this teleporter because as soon as I did, it lit up and we got this message saying it activated. This is deep in the depths of the final dungeon, and yeah, that's a shortcut. I was expecting one, Oh, anyway, I switched the party around some to get some of my lower level characters some more experience. Yeah, everyone should be up into the 40s now. I don't currently have a healer unless you count Stella herself. Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't think we're going to go straight into the final boss without anything else happening, so... There'll probably be at least one more incarnation along the way. Not even. The lunar key has shown. And yeah, looks like we have one more monster princess in the way. Now this one is technically the last one, I would think, because the previous one was the 7th, but that doesn't necessarily mean she'll be more difficult, especially since this is a required battle. Yeah, you finally made it this far. Yeah, notice the previous crystal is still here. Yeah, you've beaten the incarnations of the evil dragon. Do you want to... Let's basically dye or color the world with the holy dragon. Evil dragon and holy dragon. How much difference is there between the two? I am a mirror that reflects... Oh, both, I think. Sore is kind of like any or all. I will reflect your heart or mind, and... Yes, grasp or seize your depraved part or mind. So yeah, I think this is finally the battle that actually cares about your depravity stat. We are facing the incarnation of the holy and evil dragon. Is your body defiled? If so... You should come back again some other time, perhaps. Might get a little better if you pray at the church, perhaps? That's actually a hint to one of the optional H scenes. If your depravity is at maximum and you go to the church, there's a scene there, and you get, I think it's a defiled cross, and your depravity drops back to 50. But yeah, this, I'm almost certain, is the battle that cares what your depravity is. And the higher it is, she has a special attack that does more damage. That might as well party boost. And lowered attack. Yeah, party agility up. Although this is probably the fastest group just about you can have, especially with Hilda and Jeed. Okay, she's using all Darkla, so dark damage and blind to everyone. Let's try a triple shot, have her cure her blindness. Yeah, it's the berry. Yeah, I don't think dark evil, light, holy will work on an incarnation of both, but This is also slashing, so the slashing damage should be fine. Yeah, this is the defense down skill, the Catherine Slash. Yeah, 3 hits is always good. Now, the clawing is okay, but yeah, should have brought darkness immunity. Try her strongest attack. Yeah, evolution contrast. Yeah, that I think was the attack that does more damage the higher your depravity is, and you may have noticed it actually healed everyone. That's what happens when it's at 0 for this fight. Use Night Cure to remove the debuff. And it's not a regular debuff, the arouse status, but it is functionally a debuff. It removes... It's -30 to all your stats, as I recall. So that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, now choose her house again, but just her. Rest of the party's fine. Feed her a cherry and orb. Because that was an MP drain as well as inflict her house. She just did it again. I think she just tried to cast Dark on Raji. That's not going to work, she's immune. She's immune to Dark Elemental damage. She's not immune to Dark status effect, but she does resist it. And yeah, that's over just like that. This is actually a pretty trivial battle if you have no depravity, because her strongest attack just heals you. And then Stella has the skill that can remove arouse, so yeah. And there's that Fruit of Truth, which we can use to make the last alchemy thing. Yeah, with the human heart reflex, is it a shining future or a dark past? Will you continue on still clean, pure, etc.? Or will you accept defilement? Yeah, I can accept either one. If you beat all of the monster princesses, try going to the Lunar Garden. I think the entrance to the heavens will be awaiting you. Yeah, there's another clue. If you beat all the monster princesses and go there, something happens. And yes, this is one of those battles where if you lose, there is an H scene, so if you win, you get a special item which you can use to activate it in the memory room. But yes, at this point, I think if we go any further, that will be the final battle. Alright, this is the wrong thing. Middle teleporter is not the one that exits, it's the one off the side. But yeah, long story short, at this point, the only things we have to do before fighting the final boss are beating Kaguya, which I think will be more manageable now that we have some better equipment, more levels, and I have a pretty good idea of what to expect. Beating the Singularity, which that's the final bounty monster. I think there's a special prize for doing all of them. And of course, the Singularity is a pain. And yeah, any grinding or equipment acquisition that I want to do. Other than that, I think that's everything until the post-game. And yeah, remember to cure G's aroused status, so that's good. Yeah, so I think next time we'll go after Kaguya. I don't want to do that as a thing right now because that's one of those battles that just keeps going on and on. Also, I want to rearrange my party first. Yeah, I think I'll do Kaguya fight as an episode, Singularity fight as an episode. I want to keep... They could both be drawn out and difficult, so I want to keep them each as their own thing. And then after that, we'll go back to the bottom of the seal and try the end boss. I think we're in pretty good shape, actually, for that. Yeah, have I mentioned I like Catherine? Just being able to hit twice is really nice. Plus, she has an attack down skill, she has a defense down skill. She has some status effects. You get paralyzed, you get poison, stun. Actually, since it was a short episode, we just touched on why you want to keep your depravity down, I thought I'd load up one of my saves from my previous playthrough to show some reasons you would not want to keep depravity down. In this playthrough, I have Stella as a spear class, so she gets spear weapon, or spear skills. I'm not sure why this is usable. That seems like a bug or oversight. Anyway, you get some neat equipment. From the jail here in Yukana, you can get this Jailer's Wardstone, 20 defense and immune to status effects. It's not as good as the Star Drop, but you can get it much earlier. Plus, you can only get one Star Drop until the post-game, so yeah. In someone's cabinet, there was this legendary helmet, which you can see doesn't look much like a helmet, but it is plus 10 to all stats and protects you from confusion. We got this funky looking shield. I think that was in the Sunken City, the Evil Dragon's Eye. 10 defense, 20 evade, and resist divine, so Holy Evil Light Dark. You got the Holy Dragon's Bracelet, which... I forget whether that was in the Sunken City or the church, but either way, 8 attack, 8 defense, resist spirit, resist divine. So basically, resist all elemental damage. Nothing new there. We have this Holy Woman's Hairpin. Resist evil, resist dark, half magic consumption. You get this, it's something like honors scholar, graduate, something like that, hat. Anyway, 18 spirit, which is pretty good, not as good as some other things. Also prevents paralysis and sleep, so that's not half bad. You got this Taboo Wardstone, I think that was in this C4 City. Minus 20 attack, minus 20 spirit, but resist everything. And I think in this case, everything is status effects as well as damage types, so it's not good for your offense, but it's really good for staying alive. And of course, there's the Unbreakable. Catherine comes with the Invincible, 24 attack hits twice, but if you have at least 50 depravity, go and open up the chest in her house before she joins your party, you will find the Unbreakable Holy Sword passed down in her family. Same thing, but 40 attack, so you're getting 16 extra attack and all the good stuff the Invincible has. Again, only Catherine can use it, but it is the strongest rapier, and it hits twice still, so pretty darn good. Now, there are a few other miscellaneous things. I think one was... yeah, here it is. There's a dust-proof shirt you can find in the Jinkid mining quarters. It's pretty good. 8 defense, resists wind and earth, and immune to darkness. But everything looks kind of bad next to the sporting line because that's 10 to everything. Now let's compare it to that. There's also another thing that I don't have on this save for some reason. If you do the one scene in the underground bar, you get 2 pairs of tentacle-infested panties, which are, weirdly enough, really good defensively. But the other thing I wanted to show was that underground bar itself. Since this is on a save where I allowed Depravity to go up, see here, it's 53 at the moment. Yeah, I did the thing where you can open this up and you can come down here and there's this whole seedy bar in the basement. It's just paper scattered on the floor. You've got bunny girls, you've got dancers, you've got people in corners looking suspicious. And they sell some unusual things here. The hot herb, which inflicts status ailment, the aroused status. So if you're trying to get certain scenes, that can be helpful, so especially Stella's end scenes. And this vibrating stone, which you need to create certain toys to get yet more scenes. Now, I don't think anyone actually says anything of significance, although there is this guy who wants to do that thing with a new scene. And Stella's thinking about it, but never mind, because yeah, you need your depravity to be at 100 to do this. In any case, that's some of what you're missing out on if you don't raise your depravity. In addition to all sorts of scenes, of course. But anyway. Yeah, I might want to try to grind for some more materials to make some more supplies, but yeah, other than that, it's just those 2 optional fights and the final boss left. But yeah, this has been Arafel playing Lady Knight Saga. This will probably be a bit of a shorter episode, but sometimes that happens. Yeah, come back next time, we'll try for Kaguya. Yeah, that should unlock the way to the heavens, which I think was the post-game, but I believe you need to actually finish the game to do anything there. I forget exactly how that's set up, but in any case. Next time we try Kaguya, then after that, Singularity, then we go for the end boss.